Okay, solving rational equation and radical equation. These are the objective. Um, First of all, we are going to solve rational equation, and then after that radical equation. So if you see an equation which has fraction or rational expression, that is called rational equation. And to solve that type of equation, we have to multiply both sides by LCD, which is least common denominator, to clear the equation of fraction. Example, this is one of the rational equation because there is a fraction, there are fraction. To solve this type of equation, let me just I need some blank pages here. Okay, to solve this equation, we're going to multiply both sides by LCD. As you can see here, the equation is z plus 8 over 3 minus z minus 10 over 4 equal 3. The LCD is the least common multiple of 3 and 4. So LCD in this case, because they don't have common factor, it will be 3 times 4, which is 12. So multiply both sides by 12. If you do that, if you multiply both sides by 12, here, here, and here, so that means you are dividing 12 by 3, which is 4. You are dividing 12 by 4, which is 3. So it's going to clear up this fraction thing. And then after that, you just distribute this number. So which is 4z plus 32 minus, when you distribute this 3, keep in mind there is a minus sign in front. So you have to be careful with the sign rule. So minus 3z minus minus plus, this is 10, so 3 times 10 is 30, 12 times 3 is 36. So now solving this rational equation is solving this equation. So 4z minus 3z equals z. 32 plus 30 is 62 equal 36, and just subtract 62 from both sides. So z equal 6 to 26, negative 26. Okay, so the answer is, select the correct choice below. The solution is negative 26. There is only one solution, and that's negative 26. Let's look at another problem. Let's say this is the problem we would like to solve. So there are fractions. So first of all, we need to find out LCD. So focus on the denominator, which is, if I factor out 5 from the first one, that would be x plus 4 minus 3 over, we need to factor out all the denominator first. The factors of x squared minus 16 are x plus 4 and x minus 4. And then other side, there is a 5 over x minus 4. There is nothing you can do. So LCD, least common denominator, would be all the common factors, which is from here and here, it's x plus 4. From here and here, that's x minus 4. You just repeat once. And then leftover is 5. So this is the LCD. So we multiply both sides by this LCD. When we do that, so this goes on the top. So that would be 5 times x plus 4, x minus 4, divided by 5 times x plus 4. Remember, we can multiply both sides by the same thing. And that's what we're going to do. We're multiplying this by LCD, this by LCD, and this by LCD. So I multiply the first term. The second term would be 3 times 5 times x plus 4, x minus 4. And there is x plus 4, x minus 4. And on the right side, 5 times x plus 4 times x minus 4. And on the denominator, it's x minus 4. So now After this multiplication, you can cancel the common factor from the top and bottom part. The idea is after cancellation there will be nothing on the bottom part. Okay, so now from the first term you have x minus 4 left over. From the second one, this is 3 times 5 is 50, and from the right side it's a 25 x plus 4. So keep going. It's a x minus 19 equal, distribute the 25, it's a 25x plus 100. So now solving means just bring x to the other side and this 100 to this side. So let me just rewrite this equation. I can write down the right side to the left. 25x plus 100 equal x minus, let's go back, 19. I can switch the side, that's okay. A equal b also means b equal a. I can change the sides and they are same thing. So now subtract x and subtract 100. By doing that, it will be 24x equal negative 119, and then you just divide both sides by 24. So x equal negative 119 divided by 24. That's the answer. If you can simplify this, you're supposed to simplify, but there is nothing we can do here because it's not divisible by 3 or 8. So the answer is negative 119 over 24. Keep in mind, after you find the solution, this solution is supposed to be, it's not supposed to give you 0 on the bottom part. The only thing that gives 0 on the bottom part is either negative 4 or positive 4. So this is fine. So the answer is negative 119 divided by 24. That's the rational expression. Now the next topic is radical equation. Radical equation means whenever you see a radical sign in the equation, that's a radical equation. So for example, this one is a radical equation because there is a radical sign. There is one principle that's called the principle of powers. That means if a is equal to b, then a to the power any integer n supposed to be b to the power that integer. Okay, we're going to use this principle to solve radical equation. And how do we do that? To solve a radical equation, we must first isolate the radical on one side of the equation, and then we apply the principle of powers. So I'm going to show you example here. For example, here let's say you have this equation. So it's a cube root of 9x minus 1 equal negative 4. So this is a radical equation because there is a radical sign and there is a power 1/3. 1/3, whenever you see the radical 3, then take the power cube to cancel that 3 on both sides. So this radical 3 means power 1/3, and this power 3, they will be cancelled. So this is actually 1/3 times 3, which is cancel out. So that will give you 9x minus 1, and here it's 4 times 4 times 4 is negative 64. So add 1 both sides, that gives you 9x equal negative 63, and then divide both sides by 9. So that is 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 7. So 9 times 7 is 63. So the answer for this problem is negative 9. Sorry, negative 9. Negative 7. It's not negative 9, negative 7. This is the answer. Negative 7. Okay. Sometime you might have more than one radical. For example, here. In this case, you have more than one radical. Whenever you have situation like this, first of all, bring one radical on one side, and then let's say x minus 13, bring this radical to the other side, isolate one of the radical, and after that, now take the power, whatever index you see here, it's a square root, take power square to balance that square root. By doing that, this x minus 13, that's what you see on the left side, and here on the right side, if you square it, it will be 25 minus 10 square root of x plus 12, and square of that would be x plus 12. If you just square it, meaning if you multiply 5 minus square root of x plus 12 to itself, this is what you are going to get. Now, if you go back to the rule says when a radical equation has two radical terms on one side, we isolate one of them and then use the principle of powers. That's what we did. If after doing so a radical term remains, we repeat these steps. So we go back here, we bring everything on the one side and radical only on the other side. So I'm going to subtract x, and then 25 plus 12 is 37, so subtract 37, 37. So that will just cancel this 25 and 12. Okay. This 12 and 25 is gone. So this is gone. If you combine this, it will give you negative 50 equal this thing, negative 10 square root of x plus 12. Then divide both sides by negative 10, because the goal is we need to isolate this radical one more time. So that is 5 equal square root of x plus 12, and then 5 equal square root of x plus 12. Take square both sides because the radical sign has square root. So that will be 25 equal x plus 12, and then just subtract 12. That is 13 equal x. Keep in mind, whenever you are solving a radical equation with the even index, even root radicals, after finding the solution, make sure that you put that solution inside the radical. That's supposed to be defined. If I put x equal to 13 here, 13 minus 13, 0 is okay. 13 here, 13 plus 2 is 5 is also okay. So you always have to check your solution. Okay. So if I put x equal 13, is that the right solution? Is that 13? Okay, I did something wrong here. What did I do? So x minus 13 is square, x minus 13, 5 minus square root of x plus 2, not the 12. That was the mistake I did. It's supposed to be 2, okay? My bad. If it's 2, then instead of 37, you subtract 27. So if it's 27, then that would be 40. It would be 4, and that's a 2. And it's a 4, and it's a 2. So 4, 4, 16. And this is 2. If you subtract 2 from 16, that would be 14. So now 14 minus 13 is 1. 14 plus 2 is 16, which is 4. And now that's true. You always have to check your answer in the given problem after solving the radical equation. The answer is 14. The answer is 14. Okay, that's how you can solve a radical equation and then a rational equation. That's all for this section.